Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of Standing in Truth. I'm your host, Gary Michael Tuttle. I'm glad that you are all here joining me. I would like to say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are and when you get a chance to watch this. Um, this episode, I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but like the last episode, I'd like to start out by just taking in a deep breath through our nose. Just hold it if we can, and then exhale. Awesome. That was felt so good. So we have quite a few folks joining us tonight. My sister Tracy's here, Angie's here, brother John is here, Bella's here, and our sister Tamara is here. I'm really glad that everyone has joined us. I'm going to unmute everybody here in a little bit. Um, I kind of want to say a few things about the energy today has been really crazy. I've heard the Schumann is spiked at 50 today. So my take on that and what's happened with me, I'll just share a little bit. Is I've been very tired today. Um, I slept really good, but it seems any little bit of effort just seems to drain me. So it took me a while to even get ready to do this show. I'm actually was going to start at 6:30, and it's almost 7:30. So it's taken me an hour to just kind of get myself ready to do this. And I'm really appreciative of all the love and support that is out there right now. Uh, there's a lot of negativity floating around. There's a lot of anxiety floating around, and one thing that we can do is get outside, take your shoes off, walk around barefoot. Even if the ground is wet, even if the ground is cold, you'll find that um, well, maybe you won't find this, but my experience has been I can even stand in the snow and I will melt right through the snow into the ground and my feet are still warm. And that's actually quite amazing to me because when that happens, I know I'm completely grounded and I'm right exactly where I'm supposed to be in this now moment. And so, in saying that, being in the now moment is just for me, it's those deep breaths. And if I can do those deep breaths, inhale through my nose and then exhale through my mouth and purge all the air out of my system and just hold that for a minute, and then go into another deep breath into my nose, that really helps to bring me into the now moment, into this, you know, yes, we don't have control over maybe what's going on around us, but we do have control over ourselves. And that's what this show is about, is just showing unconditional love for everyone and everything around us. So the first thing not the first thing, what I'd like to do now is I'm going to shuffle my Dragon Oracle deck and I'm going to pull a card for the collective tonight. And then later on, maybe we can get into some personal readings if you'd like to. I know Tracy can do personal readings. I have no problem doing readings for anyone that would like to. I actually enjoy doing it. It's something that, for me, it gives me great joy to be able to share positive vibes through these readings with people. Even if it's even if the card seems to have a negative connotation, it always seems to be the right on time reading for whoever may show up or whoever may be here. So I'm going to set the intent right now that this card will be for the collective and it will be right on time for everyone that needs to hear this. So I'm just going to shuffle really quick and see what kind of comes out of the deck. I don't draw cards; the cards pop out. In case this is your first time catching the show, I'm not. Um, I don't try to force anything. I just allow whatever's going to be to happen. So just going to keep shuffling here and keep trying to keep the noise going, keep my voice going, um, and hopefully the deck has something for us tonight. I've shuffled before and I've not gotten anything, and that happens. Sometimes it's just a matter of kind of going with the flow and just allowing what is to be. And if that means that a card doesn't come out, then a card doesn't come out. There it is, right there. Oh wow, I love this one. Okay, this is an amazing card, guys. So I'm going to show you what it is real quick. It's the Golden Solar Dragon. Helps you stand in your masculine power with wisdom. Let your DNA be reprogrammed and light codes activated. Become an inspired leader. And I truly believe that that's what we're doing now. I mean, those of us that have been on this path for a while, especially those of us who have a little bit more experience with maybe meditation and going within and facing our shadow selves and being able to purge some of those things, those of us that have done that and been through some stuff can really help the others out, especially when it comes to facing our shadow self and going through some dark times. Because whether we like it or not, it's going to happen, and we're all going to go through it. It's just part of the process. Um, Solar Dragon. Where are you? Where are you hiding? Oh, jeez. There it is. It's right there. I knew what it was. Okay. The Golden Solar Dragon. Golden solar dragons are seventh dimensional beings who come from Helios, the great central sun. This is the sun beyond our sun, where Archangel Metatron creates the light matter that is the foundation of our existence. Helios is the gateway between our universe and the source of all that is. The golden solar dragons from Helios touch us with divine masculine energy. They infuse us with courage, strength, logic, leadership, and the qualities of the peaceful warrior. They then balance this with golden wisdom, all at a much higher frequency than we are used to. Working in harmony with the silver lunar dragons, they are activating us all now, illuminating the DNA within us that has been dormant since the fall of Atlantis. We are being intensively reprogrammed in preparation for the new golden age. The golden solar dragon who has come to you now is asking you to balance your life. Listen to your inner wisdom and become a leader. Dare to speak your spiritual truth. Hold the vision of the fifth dimensional world. Protect those who are less capable than you are. With the support and guidance of this dragon, you can be a living example to many. When you aspire to be a wise spiritual leader, remember the true masculine power, used with wisdom, helps you and those around you to feel safe. Spend a little time each day focusing on or imagining the sun shining into your third eye and sense the light codes that the golden solar dragons are directing towards you. I would have to say that was right on time for what we're all doing, people. Um, I I can't make these things up. I even if I wanted to, I wouldn't make it up. I read it directly from the book. Um, so I just want you to know there's no behind the scenes hidden agendas here. I've got nothing for sale. I've got nothing to try to trick anybody into. I'm just trying to share unconditional love with everyone, and so um, that's what standing in truth is for me. That's what the show is for me. It's being available to everyone and um, being true to myself. Um, I don't try to claim to be any kind of a leader or spiritual leader, but I have been shown that that's um, exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Is standing in my truth and anchoring the light and holding on to this unconditional love for everyone and everything. And in doing that, it's really helped me to realize that this is kind of a leadership position. Whether I, accept it fully for what it is or try to deny it, that's what's going on. And so, I guess that's the truth. Um, I'm I'm just kind of realizing that as we speak right now. I'm just kind of realizing that, and it's really kind of cool. I never really considered myself any kind of leader or anything like that. So it's very humbling actually to think about it in that sort of light. I would also like to now, at this time, I just want to try to help everybody kind of calm their fears. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that is going on that we're um, having to go through. A lot of us are very sensitive, and we're feeling everybody's anxiety, and we're feeling everyone's fear. Um, I guess for me personally, I just don't let it in. I know that I'm a powerful being, and I can transmute all that, and I don't have to feel all that. You know, the energy is heavy today, and I've been tired today, but I don't feel fear, and I don't feel anxiety, and I don't feel like I have to be doing anything, or, you know, I wanted to come on here and do this show, not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything, or, you know, hide anything from anyone. I don't have anything to sell. I'm just sharing unconditional love for the collective. And, you know, that's where I'm at. And I'm gonna kind of open up the chat here, and if anybody has anything that, you know, they really want to say or get off their chest about anything that we've talked about so far. Welcome everybody: Angie, Tracy, John, Bella, Tamara. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. I'm going to have you mute me because I'm at work.
Okay, I got
Thank
you.
you.
So yeah, and that's, you know, I'm glad that we can all come together. It doesn't matter where we're at, what we're doing. Like Tamara being at work, that's awesome that she can join us from work. You know, I mean, I'm so happy to have all the love and support here to do these videos. I really wanted to do them live, but I learned that it's just as good to record them and post them later, because they're still going to touch the people that they're meant to touch, and they're still going to reach the masses eventually. And you know, that's what it's truly all about, is helping everyone that we can help out in this now moment. You know, and that's sharing love and just anchoring light. And it doesn't matter if you're, you know, one day into your path, or, you know, 20 years on your path. We've all got something that we can share. We've all got unconditional love within us, and if we can share even a little bit of that with one person, it certainly goes a long way into the collective unconditional love that we all have. So I want to encourage everyone, you know, if you can do something nice or say something nice to someone, even if it's somebody that you don't like, if you can, you know, if you can admire one thing about them and then tell them about that, you know, say that to them. You know, if it's like, hey, I really like your sneakers, or, you know, those shoes are really nice, or I like the way you did your hair today. You know, any small example of being nice to someone or showing someone some kind of love is definitely going a long way. And you never really know what that means to somebody, especially especially in this time. You know, it's those little things, it's the little acts of kindness that really have happened and go a long way with people. So I encourage everybody that gets a chance to hear my voice and see this video, please do something nice for someone. Even if it's, you know, write a letter to your grandmother, or text your mom and tell her how much you appreciate her. You know, call your brother or your sister, or, you know, reach out to a cousin that you haven't talked to in a while. You know, anything. It's a good time to really, you know, think about how you've treated some people in your life, you know, and how you've judged some people in your life. Maybe reach out to those people and say, hey, you know, you might not know this, but I've held this against you for no reason, and I know that this is all my mess, but, you know, I just want you to know that I'm okay with you, and, you know, I love you, and just, you know, I'm just trying to encourage everyone to really just be nice and do something nice for people.
You know, Gary, I wanted to ask you about the whole I love you thing. So that's like one of the things I'm learning about myself is I have no problems telling people I love them. Strangers, I hug them in the streets. They think I'm crazy. But I'm telling you, it helps But do you guys just go around telling people you love them, or is that just something new that I just started doing? I mean, like coming out and being more okay with doing and not too afraid, because I've been that way forever, my entire life, just loving everyone, and it was not normal to love. It wasn't normal to say I love you.
I do.
I mean, to my family, I love them, but
I have employees that work.
You love easy.
I tell my employees all the time that I love them, and
yeah.
You know, they're women. Well, I've actually had a couple men, but they were lovable. But
Mm-hmm.
once I get to know them, I have relationships with them that are more like friendships. And, you know, I'm a big believer that you have to give respect if you want to receive it. And even when I was a teacher for 10 years, my students, they, you know, we would all share the love. We'd do big classroom hugs. They'd say, you know, oh, I love you, Miss Tracy. And I'd be like, I love you too. You know, go out into the world and do something great. You know, I was teaching adults, but some of them had a lot of very broken pasts and had never had a real mother figure in their life. So that's where I really came into tune with my divine mother energy. But yeah, I think it's important that we are not afraid to say it. I mean, it's not one of those 4-letter words that we should avoid. I think we need to hear more of it. And throughout this whole thing that's going on, I mean, the only thing I can really positively say is that I think we'll see a lot of new types of unity coming, and kind of leads me into what I wanted to share. This is some Lumerian affirmations, if you guys don't mind.
Absolutely. Please bring it on, sister.
I think a lot of it really starts with learning to love ourselves.
Yes.
And, you know, if you grew up in the church like I did, a lot of what you hear in the church is that you are nothing, you are broken, you're a sinner, you were born that way, shame on you, you're just a sinner until you come up to this altar and lay it all out and surrender and submit yourself to some other force that's going to tell you how to live your life. They never teach you to go within. Everything's external. So this has been, you know, a whole paradigm shift for me through my awakening. I left the church probably in my, like right around 30, and I'm 49 now. But it took me the first 10 years of having left the church, just being like lost, like what is there, you know, if I can't believe in that, then what can I believe in? And then the next decade was spent rediscovering the truth, you know, but I floundered for a whole decade, just really lost, and got in some bad relationships and things because I had nothing. You know, it's like, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. Well, I didn't believe in myself because the church taught me that I was nothing, you know, so I was looking for some other external something to fulfill me. And then when I realized that I have everything I need right within me, my whole life changed. So anyway, this is from, I don't know if any of you subscribe to Huna Flash on YouTube or Facebook, but I would highly recommend it. He's a beautiful, beautiful being. So I got this from him a couple months ago, and I've shared it with a lot of people. I live it every day. I recite it every day because it's so important to continue to put those beautiful words into your spirit. So it starts with, my breath is my connection to this moment to be alive. It's my connection to spirit. So we started this video out with a breath, which I thought was really appropriate because it did connect us to this moment, to this now time. I am that I am, and the universe loves and supports me. This is so important. Just every day, all day, like you have to understand when you're having a moment, you lost your keys or something, remind yourself, the universe loves me and supports me. They're going to show me where my keys are, or whatever the case may be. I am in perfect and divine timing. I am mastering my reality day by day. I am becoming more aware of the power of myself and mastering my intent, which intention is so huge right now. I am clear. I am the light of a great spirit, and the great spirit guides and inspires me and works through me. So it's really that simple, but so powerful. And if you guys want, I have this typed out, but I can take a picture of it and post it on the Masters of My Own Creation.
Do that. Can you type it into the chat also?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, because
I
I
like-
was trying to write them down, and
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, I
can't
can
write
type
fast.
it. Type it up.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's just
About
a really
this.
great affirmation, like to start your day when you're doing your morning meditation. Or I have it actually posted on my wall right here where I work in my office. So sometimes throughout the day, I'll just stop and I'll just read through that, speak it all, and then just my whole energy shifts. It's something to me. It's like an alignment, you know, just reminding yourself of your own power and perfect and divine timing. The universe supports you and loves you, mastering reality. All those things are so important, you know.
Yes, absolutely. I love how it really brought the beginning full circle within 40 minutes of us or 20 minutes of us talking here. It's already come full circle for me. Starting with the breath, you know, and standing and just the title of the show, Standing in Truth. I mean, I am that I am. We are all one. We are all one from the same creator, we're all the same creation. We're all having the same, we're all sharing the same timeline, but we all have these different perspectives. And it's when we come together in group settings like this and get to share our different perspectives, get to
Yeah.
stand, get to be clear in who we are, and get to be connected with each other in perfect divine timing. I mean, it's just really very powerful for me right now, and I appreciate that you had that to share tonight, Tracy. That is just amazing. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Pardon me, my eye itching. The the dragon card that came up tonight was also one that I'm pretty sure was drawn last night. And you know, the DNA upgrades that we're all getting from the central sun kind of leads me to another vision that I was shown. We are all connected through our sun to the central sun. It doesn't matter what walk of life you are from. It doesn't matter what part of what part of the country, what part of the world, what language you speak, what nationality you are, what blood type you are. The things that make us unique are also the things that keep us completely connected as a whole. We're all here to experience this now from our own perspective and be fully in the now, bringing it all completely back to being fully connected. That truly speaks to absolutely what I've been shown, and the vision that I was shown is our sun is simply just a key. It's just a keyhole, right? And we all are the key to the connection to the creation. Each one of us is the key, and it's not just when we come together as a collective are we the key. We are individually the key, but when we come together as one unit, when two or more gather together, that makes it a much stronger key, and we can turn that lock, and we can totally be connected with creation and everything that's going on around us. And that was really quite amazing, because we anchor in the light. We as a whole anchor in the light, but we do it individually. But then also when we come together, it makes it that much stronger and that much better of an anchor. So once again, I'm not sure how to say this, but I just truly appreciate everyone that shows up and that is here and that has something to offer. And your voice is so much appreciated in my life. These activations that we all get from the different frequencies and different codes and stuff that we have in our voices, and being able to share that out with other people is just, to me, it's just one of those amazing things that it's hard for me to wrap my head around, yet I absolutely know it to be true. we have activations in our voices, and when we come together and we do these chats and we share ourselves out there, it touches not just, it doesn't just touch the people that watch it, but it touches everyone in a very familiar way. And I truly believe that by being able and capable and willing to do these videos or these shows, I like to call it a show because I feel like it's really good content. It's not anything that you would have to hide from your children. It's not, you know, we're not, there's no commercial breaks. There's nothing for sale. There's, you know, I mean, you know, like and subscribe so that we can go live if, you know, if you feel led to do that, like the video, and then subscribe so that I've got enough subscribers so that I can go live on my phone. I won't have to do the recording. That's really, I mean, I'm not after a bunch of subscribers. I'm not trying to make any money on YouTube. My channel's not monetized. I'm just here being me and doing me the best of my ability, and that means sharing myself on this show with a bunch of people that I absolutely adore with everything, with every cell of my being. I love you all so much. It's quite awesome.
It's mutual, Gary. We love you too. We appreciate what you're doing, and we can only go up from here.
It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you for putting that into the chat. I'm gonna copy and paste that to something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a little typo.
What is that?
So
That's
I
all right.
perfect and divine timing. But yeah, I wasn't sure how to go back, and if I can go back and yeah, I can.
I'm totally copying it. I've got that.
Just make those corrections when you paste it somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that little segment has gotten me through some tough days lately. So it's just, it kind of brings me back to my center. I love it.
Awesome.
I'm very grateful to Huna. So he has a whole video on the Lumerian calendar.
Yes, he does. He does updates.
Yeah. He's an amazing light worker. And I mean, just incredible, spectacular. There is really no English word to or adjective to describe the light work that he does. It's out of this world. So he's an amazing being.
I did want to ask, at what age did you go through awakening? Like, do you feel that you kind of been doing, it's a process like your entire life? Everybody.
Oh, go ahead, Gary.
Yes,
Everybody.
I feel like it's a process that's been happening my entire life. I remember when I was a kid, like my brother and I used to be able to literally jump from tree to tree. Like, and I mean, I'm not trying to exaggerate anything. We would jump and fly from tree to tree and do these amazing things. And we would look at each other like, are we really doing this? Knowing that we are absolutely really doing this. So even though from an early age I knew that I was kind of different, that I had like these this way of just kind of knowing things, sensing things, being connected with everything, especially nature-wise, being connected with the animals, and knowing when a bird was going to fly through before the bird flew through, or knowing what kind of bird it was before I ever learned that, you know, the different names of the birds and things. I just kind of, I've always had this extra knowing. And so yeah, it's been a lifetime experience. But you know, we all have to go through like hardships and go live our lives and experience the things that we've experienced, so that we can kind of come back to these different knowings that we have. And to me, there's been some times in my life where it's like, geez, you know, why did we have to live through this? Like, this is just, you know, some nonsense that we're going through. But then, you know, to look back and see how things played out, like it just showed me that, you know, everything always not just works out in my favor, but it always works out and turns out better than I can imagine or dream of. Even if I have a vision or I have a knowing of how things are going to be, It always ends up being this magical, miraculous. I can't believe it turned out like this. Like when my daughter had her car wreck, like I mean, some bumps and scrapes, some bruises and scrapes, but not a broken bone. I mean, she had one laceration on her forehead that needed to be sewed up. But I mean, to see the car and then the other vehicle that was involved, and just like you wouldn't think anybody ever walked away from this. And literally, she had a laceration on her forehead and some bruises. She was sore for a while from being in the accident. But to see how that turned, to know that it was going to happen and know that it was going to be a bad accident, but then the outcome of it was so like miraculous, like literally just to me miraculous, that she, I mean, as soon as I got the phone call, I was like, oh my God, I got to answer this. Like I knew what was going on. Like I knew it was, oh wow, this happened. And but I didn't panic about it at all. I never had any anxiety. I never had any I was never worried about how she was, because I knew, like I instantly knew, no, she's okay. Like she's fine, and it's those little things like that that, throughout my life, looking back and how miraculous things turn out, that I realized that I've been on this path the whole time. Like it's kind of, I mean, for me, I'd like to say, oh, well, it started here or it started there, but it really didn't start anywhere. It started, from my first memories as a kid, really. And even before that, like I can remember dreams that I had before I can remember memories that I had, if that makes sense. And I don't know if that's 5D, or if that's, some of the DNA upgrades that we've been receiving, or if it's, I don't know what that is, but to me, that in itself is actually pretty miraculous. So yes, I've been on this for my life.
Angie,
Yes.
are you seeing this across his forehead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you get closer, Gary? I was just looking up like the Greek gods that have that thing that comes down. Like there's something happening on your forehead right now. It's pretty crazy.
Well, no, and then earlier, like when he was talking, there was like this thing that was like,
Could you see it coming off the back of my head?
Aura. I think it's his aura. It's like,
but like
no,
it's coming down, and it's like there's the center dot, but there's like these things coming in to connect with it. You see it?
are you attached to any of the relics of our history, Gary?
I didn't notice that last night at all either.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Holy cow, I see it, like right here, right?
Yeah.
It comes down and then.
Yeah, and it's got like the little triangle there in the middle.
Are you becoming wise, Gary?
I may be becoming wise. I don't know. Something's going on. I could feel when I was talking, I felt this, what's the chakra right here at the back of your head?
Well, it's your crown chakra?
Well, no, but at the back of your head, there's another chakra at the back of your head. I can't remember.
On your right side?
No, it was right at the center of the back of my head.
Oh, okay. Let's see, if it's on your right side, then that would be masculine, right?
No, this was completely centered off of my head. Like it was, I could just feel it opened and flowing. It was, I don't know, that was pretty.
I saw the flow. I don't know. Maybe if you were to play the video when you watch it again, you will maybe from, let me see, I think it's probably your left side. You'll see maybe from your left side, from your face over, you'll see and then it goes away. I think that really you are opening up. Yeah. Maybe a lot going on and you're just picking up a lot of the.
This started since you started the video.
Really?
It almost looks like the what is that? The Pegasus wings, kind of.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do notice it now that you mention it. That's definitely.
It's morphing right now.
He's all wild.
Yeah,
Your
that's a
brain.
little freaky. Anyway, so we could talk about anyone but me right now. Anything but me. That'd be. What about you, Trace? Like, what's your, I mean, do you feel like you've been doing like on this your whole life, or is it like
Yeah.
something
Oh,
that
yeah.
happened?
Yeah, I was born intuitive. I was a middle child. I was different. I was the outcast. I was the psychedelic sheep of the family. Um, I was the little girl in my prayer closet trying to save the family, trying to be the peacemaker. I consider myself an indigo just because I've always been the rebel. I've rebelled against programs and systems and any kind of worldly structure that I never felt comfortable in. I'm not a conformist, never have been. Even as a child, I was very in touch with nature, grew up outside in my bare feet. I mean, I always, I rebelled against shoes. I wanted my feet on the ground. So I've always been in touch with the earth, mother, and I've, always had that divine mother energy following me. My grandmother on my father's side died at 40. I was told 49, and then just like a year ago I was told no, 47, and I'm 49 right now. So but I am like a spitting image of her. I've had a couple of past life regressions that I feel like I might be her recycle. And my dad recognizes that in me. So it's been a really bizarre journey for that reason, because my dad he just doesn't want to go there, but he'll just say, "You remind me so much of my mother. It scares me." Like he was 19 when she died, so
Do you know her?
It's
he didn't know her
crazy.
very long. I'd never met her. No, I've never met
That's crazy
Obviously,
that you say that.
her.
you might be recycled.
That's
Then you
me.
feel that way.
Yeah.
So Tracy, that's really crazy that you say that, because my paternal grandfather passed away 6 years before I was born, and I never knew him or never met him. But like, I would hear, like, anytime I would hear his name, I knew different aspects of his life. And one time I was at the cemetery visiting my father, and he's buried right behind his dad. And I was talking, I wasn't even talking to my dad. I was just cleaning up and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I turned around and I said, "Hey, Gramps, how are you?" And I was like, "Well, you always talk to yourself?" I was like, "Well, yes, you do. And you answer yourself too, don't you?" And so from that point on, like, I've kind of realized that I probably was also my grandfather.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it's not really weird to me, but, because I already had been like on this path long enough that this was like one of those things that was like, oh yeah, that's very possible. Like that
Mhm.
probably.
Yeah.
But
And then I lived with an aunt of mine when I was 19, and she was um, her sister. And it was really weird for a 19-year-old to want to live with an 83-year-old woman, but I really did. And it was a great experience because she just needed somebody there to kind of check on her. And living with her for that year, like, it was the most beautiful experience. I grew so close to her. She taught me so many things about my family that I had really no knowledge of. Like, my dad's family is very quiet, secretive, very divided. Um, so I really feel like there's kind of a missing piece, but it's okay. It's kind of like, that's just how it is. But then, as far as my awakening, um, you have to come out of the programming, the indoctrination, the religion. So that all started, basically in my 30s. So probably a good 20 years getting to where I am today, but had some really wild experiences, moments. I've had some supernatural things happen that were confirming, you know, that this is definitely happening, and there's other higher powers and beings that are involved. So, and I would say the most confirming of that 20-year period, just reminding me of who I am, returning back to my inner child, would have been from 2015 until today. Like that, basically the last 5 years. So, you know, it's like, you know, if you think about your journey and what you came from, I mean, we have to sit here and say, we didn't come this far to leave now. Like,
No.
Right.
We did not get brought this far through life and death experiences. I mean, I had 2 experiences in my life where I almost died.
Yeah.
And, you know, different things like that. I'm like,
Dead,
huh?
like where you should be dead, like a
Yeah. And I'm like, I didn't come this far to quit now or to be taken out now. Like, there's no freaking way. You know, why would the universe go to all that trouble to spare us and prepare us to just let us be killed by the coronavirus? I don't believe that's going to happen.
No.
I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that we're going to be victims of anything other than, you know, this ascension and bringing this harvest and bringing the light to raising the frequency of the planet and helping to create the new earth. That's what I believe. I'm like, I didn't go through all this for nothing. None of us did.
No, I don't believe that for a second. We're all here in this time for a specific reason and a specific purpose.
Yep.
And I think
So, you
right
know,
here, what we're doing right now is part of that. I absolutely believe that what we're doing right now is right on time. It's divine timing, and we're doing exactly what we're supposed to be doing, because those people that need to hear this and are ready to hear it are going to hear it.
Well, I just wanted to talk about mine because I feel like mine is just like one of those moments of like, if you were to your star charts, I wish I would have known my awakening was going to be as awful as it was. And if I would have known what I was going through then, when I read my star chart, I would have known that that was the insanity that I was going through at the time.
mm-hmm.
As star seeds, we wake up at 30.
Yep.
33, right?
Yep, exactly.
Let me fucking tell you, okay? I was, well, first of all, that's when I learned that I had a special needs son and he was on the spectrum and all these other things with his health, right? So you have a mental breakdown as a mom. Then I was going through my awakening at the same time. And I was having seizures because I think I was trying to process everything all at once. They put me on so much medication.
Yeah,
But it's funny. I'm sorry?
They were trying to suppress your awakening.
Yes, because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Right. And the fear, it was like I was so terrified of what I was feeling and seeing because I didn't know what was going on. Because I didn't grow up well, I should say I went to church 5 times. 3 of the times I started saying to everybody that Jesus doesn't talk bad about people. Jesus doesn't make people feel bad about themselves, and Jesus doesn't make you say, hey, give me money. So I was like 5 when I was telling everybody that. So
Wow.
they threw me in the nursery, and I didn't go back because my mom would never let me go back with my friends. But that was like my mouth at 5.
Wow.
I didn't know that you weren't supposed to talk bad at church. Like my parents were open and my parents were amazing. I think my parents were pretty good. Like I had really good parents, harmonious parents. They had their own issues with the, different stuff. But the funny part is that when you're 30 years old, yes, honey, it's still good. When you're 30 and you don't know what is wrong with you, I think the best tool is that what I can tell everybody is that everybody upload your birth chart. Please. If you're a parent, read your child's, because I can guarantee you guys will, oh my gosh. It's like dots.
Yeah.
I bet yours and mine's and Gary's, I bet we will all intertwine. Like when you read everyone's birth chart, we will all be connected somehow because we're all one.
Yep.
I know Bella and
Oh.
I, like our star charts, the way she showed me, like every star is exactly the same. It's just like the numbers on the end are, you know, slightly different. It's insane.
It's like your little tiny little plug will plug into mine, and then Tracy's, and it's like it's just incredible. Incredibly fascinating. We're all giving these gifts,
Mhm.
birth charts, and nobody knows about them.
Well, most people are on the wrong cross. There's 3 crosses, the fixed, the mutable, and the cardinal cross. Most people are not even on the right cross. They don't even know their true life purpose because even the astrology has been hijacked, So I spent my whole life thinking I was a Scorpio, not knowing what cross I was on. And then, 3 years ago, found out I'm a Libra. And I'm on the cardinal cross. I'm an air sign on the cardinal cross, and it changed my whole paradigm. I mean, I was able to finally be my authentic self, and I'm like, this feels right. This feels like this is who I should be. And then my gifts just started skyrocketing, and everything just started unfolding. And I was able to basically discover so much more because I was on the right path. But my whole life, I'm living this,
It's a little map in your head. You know it's who you are.
yeah.
And then, because we are logical humans, we have to look at it and we have to read it to know what we're doing. So it's like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm having a really stressful day. Why? Oh, I know why. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either you can look at it like that, or you can look at it as we're all energetic and the planets have everything to do with how we're feeling right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actions and reactions. How
Yep.
they affect, different energies affect different people differently depending on what your birth chart is.
Exactly.
So yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
what
Or
is the size?
Or choices you made,
Mhm.
like come in with certain path or certain experiences, the parents you chose.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that would help everyone if you would just be handed that little pamphlet. Your parents would hand a little pamphlet when your child was born. Everyone would be okay.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, we just go straight into the programming and the indoctrinations, and then they tell us who we are and how to think and,
Yep.
label us. I was labeled the middle child. I was labeled this and that, and I'm like, okay, no more. Like,
Yeah.
this is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm not going to hide from my truth anymore,
Mhm.
So.
Thank you, Tracy.
Mhm.
Stop hiding your light.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I tell my girls that too. I'm like, I have one daughter, I feel like she's an earth angel, and the other one is a star seed. And I mean, they're both amazing girls, and they have such huge lights. And I spent the first 15 years of their life saying, what did I do to deserve them? Like, they're so amazing. Well, I understand now because I was such a rebellious child, and because I wasn't walking my true path. That's why I was so unhappy and rebellious. It wasn't until I found my true authentic self that I was able to be at peace and just walk in who I truly am. So of course, yeah, you're going to spend your life in rebellion because you're being told you're this and that's, and down deep you're not. But for my children, I've known who they truly are. I've shown them this is who you are, and we've embraced that. And they've never been rebellious. They've been so loving and beautiful and kind. And I mean, for a while I was just like, what did I like? I was a horrible teenager. Like, I did everything I shouldn't have done, but like, I got these most beautiful souls for my children. And then all of a sudden my guidance showed me that. They're like, it's because you help them understand who they truly are. You put them on the right path. You didn't indoctrinate them. You didn't let them become programmed by the world. So they are able to be their true selves, like all their life. Like, you never lied to them. You never indoctrinated them. And so that was the difference. And I never understood it. But then when my guidance pointed that out to me, I'm like, okay, so every parent can have this if they just start by showing their children the truth. the truth
Mhm.
in who they are and the truth in who their children are.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's amazing. And you go in Walmart and there's all these screaming, bratty children, and you just want to take the parents aside and tell them, like, oh my God, I can change
I know.
this for you. I can help you understand what's going on. But it's like, you know, you need to be with them for about a week to get it all carried out. But it's like, I just see it now, and everywhere I go in the world, it's like, oh my God, we have so much work to do as light workers. There's going to be masses of people needing this information, you know, when they start waking up.
I have a hard time with in the groups that I am outside of my spiritual groups, you know, it's kind of like it's a hat I put on. I think a lot of times I'm trying to not. I know I have a few friends that we're trying to build that bridge between the community of difference to the neurotypical
Yeah.
world. So we're trying to build that together. I have a few people that we're very in tune with trying to understand how parents understand their children when they're freaking out. Like all behaviors are communication, and so it's like in the stores or even it's like I want to help, but you kind of have to like
Yeah.
because then I get all weird and spiritual and well, your child has a path. You're probably not helping them lead their path. Maybe you're over. I mean, I would never say that, but I'm trying to be funny right now, but that's seriously the truth. It's like, they're just really, like you said, they want to live. They're just trying to communicate. Most of them are just trying to communicate on whatever level and dimension. Cause autism is a dimensional, like they're like trying to live all dimensions all at once.
Yeah.
And so when you see someone like with autism or a special need or a behavior, it's like you have to like stop and like give them space. And so that's something huge for me right now is I'm seeing that a lot of people are just not giving people their space to grow and give them love enough to grow in that space. Even like right now with everything going on, it's just everyone I guess is learning, and it's going to be a huge learning experience for everybody.
Yeah.
I go off all my stuff. I'm sorry.
No.
But
No, I love what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
really, it's enlightening. It's inspiring.
no, but it's it's not just with parents, but it's with people. You know, you see someone having like a meltdown at the store and they're okay with giving hugs. You ask them, give them a freaking hug. Like, why wouldn't we give them a hug?
Yeah, it's an energy exchange.
That's space. It's giving them space,
Yeah.
right?
You're allowing them to be who they are right then. And
Exactly.
acknowledging that.
Yep, you're giving them space to be themselves, and that's so huge.
Yes.
Whether it's a hug or just letting them be themselves, I think that's huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree 100% on that. Yes. No, I really feel that. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be there for people. I mean, that's kind of what we do, right? That's
I
our
had an
purpose.
experience at Best Buy a few weeks ago, and this is something else I'm noticing in my life is I'm connecting with these I guess they would be the last generation of children, because this little boy was probably about 10 or 12. I want to say he was probably more like 12. But I was at the Geek Squad in Best Buy, and I'm standing there at the counter, and he's to my right, and somebody's waiting on him. Then they're looking at his laptop, and then I'm standing, and the guy's, you know, doing something with my cell phone. And his mom is like super 3D, you know, she's over there on the bench and just kind of checked out, and she's on her phone, and you know, you could tell she was just multitasking her life at that moment. So, but the little boy was like at the counter by himself, and like I sensed his energy, and then all of a sudden we turned and looked at each other at the same time, and our eyes met, and he got the biggest smile, like, I mean, and we just locked eyes, and he got this angelic smile that I swear stretched across his entire face. And then he just kind of went, and went back to it. And he just kept looking at me out of the corner of his eye. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, he recognizes me, or I recognize him. Like we know each other's energy blueprint. And from that point on, he was just like smiling nonstop. But it wasn't, it wasn't a creepy, weird thing. It was just like, hey, brother, like, hey, we know each other. And I mean, I just, from that point on, it's like our energies had just locked, like I was just reading his energy. He was reading mine, and we were just having this moment. It was so beautiful. And I mean, it just made my day. Like my energy went through the roof after that. Like, I don't know if he activated something in me. I kind of feel like he did.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh my God, like I'm feeling this kid's energy. And when he smiled, it was just like light just went like into me. It was so beautiful.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
And his face was just like angelic. Like there was just this glow on his face. And it was just the most beautiful exchange. I'm like, not a word was said. It was like telepathy.
So,
yeah.
That's so awesome. I love that
So
you had that experience.
young enough not to lose his telepathy abilities, because like we all had them, right? But we lost them. Yeah. Or I mean, we still have them, just they didn't lose theirs yet.
Right. Yeah, there was something going on there, and I was like, wow. And that whole day was so crazy, and I ended up having to come back to Best Buy that night, which I was not happy about, but I was like, well, I guess if I have to. And then when I went back, that's when I had that exchange with this boy, and I was like, now I understand why I had to come back. Like it all made sense. And I was like, I just walked out of the store, I was like, wow, that just happened. Like it wasn't even about my cell phone at all. It was just, and what was weird, earlier that day, my cell phone literally jumped out of my hand and into a storm drain, like 4 feet under the ground. Like that's the whole, and I'm like, how did that just happen? Like I spent the whole day going, how did my phone just jump out of my hand into a storm drain and broke, all these chunks out of my phone. So I had to go there and do this. Like it was completely out of my control. So I feel like it was just,
that's the kind of stuff situation wise. Like Gary, you had your situation, things like that, where you guys just share your situation with your awakening, things like that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
I don't have service very well in here. Sorry. But then I keep seeing you move around so much. Sorry.
You're fine.
But
Should I add my video too? I'm not sure how to do that.
Don, it's on the bottom left screen.
Got it.
Just hover over it. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, I look fantastic. I'm sorry, guys. I'm
No,
a little out of sorts.
We're
Okay.
glad you're here.
you're fine. We're glad that you joined us.
Yep. Thanks for inviting me. Jeez.
Absolutely. We're glad that you could make it. It's really good to see and hear your voice.
Yeah, for sure.
We were just talking about different experiences that we've had through our awakening process, and Tracy was just explaining one that she had a couple of weeks back when her phone went in the storm drain, and how she had to go back to Best Buy, and the experience she had with the boy.
Right when I jumped in, I was hearing that. Yeah, it's
Good.
I paid attention to all that stuff. When stuff like that happens, like you just have to go, whoa, I mean, this is kind of something special here.
Yes.
Whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's something special, something different. In my opinion, anyways.
For sure.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. I'm so glad you got a chance to make it. I was just about to wrap it up for this episode, but if you'd like to hang around, we're going to chat afterwards. So just hang out in here while I just kind of end it, and then we're going to hang out and chat a little bit and see where this goes. I want to thank everyone that showed up. Angie, it's so nice that you were able to join us, and I loved hearing about your stories, and your insights are just amazing. I hope you keep, I love you, sister. You're awesome. Tracy, You are such an inspiration to me. I want to thank you for all the love and support that you've shown me. You've been just
pleasure.
so awesome. Brother John, I know you're listening. I absolutely love you, brother. Sister Bella, honey, thank you for being here. That's awesome. And Brother Don, especially, I'm glad you got a chance to join us, and I hope you get a chance to hang out afterward. I want to thank everybody who gets a chance to see this video. I hope it helps you kind of
Thank you.
deal with what you're going through. And, you know, I'm the same person on Facebook that I am right here. So if you need to talk, you can hit me up on Messenger, or just we've got a couple of groups going on. If this resonates with you, hit us up, and we'd be glad to be friends and have you join us in our chats and conversations.
You're a great guy.
I hope you get to hang out, and I hope you liked what you heard and what you saw, and thanks for joining us. And try to subscribe if you can. Thank you.